Alright guys, Tyson here. Just want to give you a quick update on the white truck. So, last time we got the bed sitting right, relatively speaking. Now, I'm working on this seam here, or I was attempting to, and it just wouldn't quite, butt up together correctly. There was like a gap here when the bed was like pinched all together. You can see I got a ratchet strap holding it there. And on this side over here, Christopher's already welded it, or at least started welding it. The problem was the bed would close and kind of pinch before the side over there would come together, so I could weld it up, like a butt weld basically. So I've been kind of measuring and grinding and cutting on the interior of this line right here of the bed on this side. So I'll grind a little bit off of here where I see it coming together. I see it coming together like right there. So I'll grind a little bit of this down here, undo it, and then try and butt it back together with the ratchet strap and see. You can see now it's still got a little bit of a gap. It's not nearly as bad as it was. And I mean, you can almost I could probably ratchet strap it together and, force it. But while I've already got all the tools and stuff and I'm just trying to do it right. But it's extremely time consuming. I mean, I've already probably got 3 or 4 hours into this, and that's just, getting everything set up, getting the bed to sit right on the truck, because I had to prop it up off the frame. Let's see. Yeah, with like the wood blocks there. And then in the front, with this center section, so it's sitting off the frame, so I can move this independently. This front piece here. I can move it independently without it hanging up on the frame, and it's just been time consuming. I've already cut quite a bit out of it. I mean, I guess more shaved is probably the right word. I've just been using the cutting wheel on the grinder to kind of angle in and just shave off pieces. Just shaving off. It seems to work better than the grinding wheel. But that's where I'm at. I'm still working. I mean, I just want to get the bed done. Or done-ish. I mean, welded. All the metal work done, welded, grinded down, get it ready for paint basically. Get it mounted up, lined up right, because I think it's going to have to come off. So the whole point of doing it like this is when I get it all done and welded up, I'll get it welded up, ground down, and then I'll get the mounting points redone. So I'll use those 2 front holes, which you remember that last video, they still line up. So I can run bolts through there, mount it that way to get the bed sitting where it's going to be, and then kind of look back at these other, there's a total of 4 more holes, 2 on each side, that aren't going to line up right with the holes in the frame. So I'm going to have to re-drill these. And even the 2 in the front, I think kind of half line up like I showed you before. So I may have to weld in a plate and then drill through that plate to get a really good secure mounting point on those. But that's where I'm at. Just a quick update on that. Once I get through this and kind of get ready to finish welded, I'll get back with you guys. Hey guys, Tyson here. Give you another update on the F100, 71 F100 project. Operation long bed to short bed. So I basically got everything sitting right. If you remember our conversation in the last video there. And I've started, you can see my welds there. Basically started kind of moving my way, that way with the welds. The problem is like right here, there's a huge lip, so I'm having to kind of go under the bed and bang on it and jack it up a little bit to get everything to sit perfectly level before I weld it. So it's just taking me time to get that done, as I move, kind of inch my way across the bed here and find these spots. And in the little spots like this here, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to weld that across, or if I'm going to have to try and put some little thin filler in there. It's kind of one of those things I'm struggling with, honestly. But we're making progress. We're getting there. It's just, I'm just hitting little tacks. You can see I'm not going across the, dragging a puddle down or anything like that. It's just little tacks because the metal is pretty thin. And that's what I'll continue to do, basically, until I get all the way across. And, I'll film a little bit of it just to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing. Maybe we'll do a time lapse or something. That'll be maybe beneficial for you to actually see me kind of going through it and doing what I'm doing. And maybe you can, hey, if you know something I'm doing wrong or something I can improve upon, let me know. But that's where we're at for now. And that's my goal, honestly. Like I said, it's just I want to get this bed done and get something kind of moving here with this truck. It's just taking forever. But that's it. I'll get back with you guys in a bit. All right, so basically, I was trying to go, if you all come around here so you can see it a little better. I'll talk about it here. So I was trying to keep it close, somewhat close to an inch apart, and just kind of come down. I was making sure it was flat, you know, level basically on both sides as I'm going across. Not too bad on the blow through. I didn't really see much of that. But I could feel it just putting my hands on it, and it would be easier if I was sitting back here in the bed somewhere and just kind of going across. But I noticed when I was doing that, you know, this side of the floor comes down and it just distorts the floor when I'm sitting in the bed. So I may have to do that in the center pieces here, or see if I can get a taller, I don't know, ladder or something. But I'm still leaning on the bed, you know, pushing, you know, this side down or this side or something. So it's better to, I think, in my opinion, to stay back here and just try and kind of come at it from the top as much as I can and keep my weight off it the best I can. But if you're wondering, hey, why don't you just get in there and do it? It's way easier. That's why, because I noticed that it was distorting when I tried to do that. But just, you know, feeling around and stuff, the bed's getting pretty hot, so I'm going to give it a break here, let it cool off a little bit, and then I'll continue on, keep going and adjusting. I have to kind of adjust the jack over here as I'm going. As you can see right now, it looks like this side, the short side here, is way higher, which obviously it is, but in order to get that end of the bed level, I have to jack up a little higher than I should. So once I come across and I'm getting closer to here where you can see that it's like way obvious that this side's higher, I should be able to release this jack and release some of that tension, and that should come down. So I'm basically keeping the whole thing level as I'm coming back. At least that's the plan. And as mentioned before, this by no means is a how-to. This is just how I'm doing it. I'm one of those people that kind of learns as I go along and just kind of do my thing and figure it out. I Google, I YouTube, and try and figure out the best way to do things. And like I said, if you guys know something better or something I'm not doing that I should be doing, let me know in the comments. Keep it clean. Be gentle. Constructive criticism. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the philosophy. I'm learning as I go, and I'm just trying to figure it out and learn and do and essentially get better. So once I get back through here, you know, I'll let it cool off for, I don't know, an hour or so and come back and hit it again. I'll get back with you guys. All right, guys, that's pretty good. I don't know, 90% of it done, at least across the top side there. I'll show you a little close up here of it's just kind of how we came down. Not pretty by any stretch of the imagination. And I just put this little strap in here just to make sure everything was pulled tight while I was catching these last ones. But now, what I wanted to show you is this right here. You see where it kind of comes up, and then this piece right here, maybe you can see it better from the top. It's simply just misaligned by a fair amount. And you can see it kind of right here too on the body, where basically the whole thing needs to come, or at least this side needs to pull out towards me. See how it's kind of even now, and then if I let it go, it goes way out again. So I kind of want to get that figured out before I weld this last piece on the bottom here. I mean, it looks pretty even, so I may be, I don't know, it may not be something that I should be worried about, but I kind of am. I'd like to at least get this stuff to line up though, and you can see it all the way up. It's just off up here, and even here, the bottom, it turns in a little bit, like it points in towards the center of the truck where I need it to come out that way. So, kind of going to see what I have in my bag of tricks here to deal with that. But top to bottom, or should I say vertically, it's pretty damn good, I think. So I just have to kind of figure out this last piece here, and then I'm going to come through and catch boom, 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 all the way up, all the way down the outside. And I'm going to try and keep doing my little inch deal here, about an inch ahead, just keep going about an inch, an inch, an inch. And you can see certain parts here where I wasn't able really to do that. That's probably a couple inches there, but the metal was tight here, and then I can come back and hit these and kind of fill them back in as I go through. So, and then you want to take some breaks too, from what I understand, because you know, I can feel this piece is still pretty hot. So I wanted to let her cool down a little bit to try and keep any warping to a minimum. But yeah, I mean, that's the plan. Once I get this squared up and situated a little better, I'll get back with you guys.